Yes, Assalamualaikum and good evening to my dear students. Okay, so today we go to chapter 5 about critically reviewing the literature or literature review. All right, so this one, if a first version is based on Saunders' book, Saunders et al. Research Methods for Business Students. Okay, quite a recent one, and 2016 version. Maybe it have the recent one, but this I have. Okay, so this one more on as a this called more simplifying from their most relevant figure. So this is the literature review process. Actually, they're more on continuous process. Okay, you can see the looping there. Okay, when we have research question and objective, and then we have to define the parameters of variables, individual independent variables as well as dependent variables, IV and DV. Then we can generate research terms, and then we go through the research, conducting research, and then literature review. We exploring the literature, evaluating, record, then we start drafting the review, and then we revise back. Okay, when we are doing revise our IV and DV in order for the purpose and review research questions of it. Then we generate it out, and then we update, obtain. Okay, you see the same process still until the end of the when you want to preparing for writing the final report. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that literature review is not only be done in the initial when you are starting the research. Supposedly they are continuous process. Okay, so the another structure that we can have a look on based on this Saunders et al. So we normally we have few themes. Okay, theme 1, theme 2. So means that describe what the authors has written. So this one may help for your assignment too. Okay, so they have a few authors. Okay, from various authors that are doing the same theme. Okay, could be compare or contrast the ideas. Okay, so we do have kita macam merentasi lah, okay, based on the line, the different authors have the different findings or the different research. Let's say theme ni ada sometimes kalau misalnya normally if you have a look okay, before this you dah buat few project, selalu you akan tengok pada method dengan kat mana the application, right? Okay, in in the SQL selalu macam tu lah, ada method ni dia apply in which application in industri mana dan sebagainya. Okay, jadi teams ni kadang-kadang dia kategori lah, okay, or the subtopics and some teams maybe we have sub teams and so on. Okay, so for example here, okay, let's say you want to do about benchmark and total quality management. So the benchmark tu we will if you're using relevance tree, this is when if you want to brainstorming for let's say you untuk assignment 1 ni kan, okay, you can tengok pada teori benchmark, practice dia macam mana, okay. So then the TKM tu apa dia, yeah, the implementation, theory. So all this related lah, okay, macam you tinggal satu pokok and then ada dia punya all the branches, then the trees and so on. Some can go tulang ikan kan, kalau some engineering punya concept tulang Ishikawa tu kan, ini foto satu solution kan, solving the problem. They have problem to how to solve. They have the tulang ikan Ishikawa apa bone, fish bone. Okay. It also can use for if you want to writing books or novels and so on. Okay, I have been attend one from my juniors last year that she applying that concept. She cover both fish bone. Alright, so this is another ni, and you using kita tengok dulu ni nanti the details we can go soon in the part. Jadi kalau tengok EBSCO, selalunya saya akan buat demo ni. Kalau in the physical class, I'll be showing based on library apa tu? Our library lah, kan, online database sama je. You masukkan keywords, then you can got a lot of result, okay, number of result. Then another one, kalau ni ada example, okay, this just go online, Google pun now we can go for Google Scholar, okay, dark tourism for example. Selalunya Wikipedia will be the first place lah, biasanya lah they have. Okay, so let's say just using on general search engine. Okay, Google is considered general search engine. And then, or you want to assess, okay, assessing using the abstract. Okay, this one abstract. So this the paper. Sometimes we want to decide either you want to choose or not that paper. You will look at as like the abstract of the paper first. Abstract mana summary of the paper tu. Paper ke, journal ke, proceeding ke. Tapi kalau artikel in newspaper tu, you just see at the whole lah kan. Dia tak dapat summary kan. Normally in the academic paper, they do have summary or abstract or synopsis. Okay. So kalau kita baca novel, dia ada synopsis kan. So sama lah. Abstract ni synopsis, abstract. Or prologue or epilogue. Prologue lah normally kalau if you always read the novel and so on. Okay, so this one for systematic review, if this one resource developed from course.All. So they are using this method that is considered another method that can be based on location, and then you can evaluate, select and evaluate, then you analysis. Okay, so normally location of studies maknanya studies tu dekat mana, dekat UK ke US ke kan, so the number, then you will see lah how you want to filter out. Okay. You nak tengok, okay, you nak tengok wakil lah. Let's say you want to see the studies representing from US, from UK. So you just filter the most relevant for your context, okay? And then how you will select and evaluate as well as analysis and synthesize for if you're doing on systematic review approach, okay? So now, what else? Another words because the bibliometric analysis. Okay, for now we go to from Jowili Nota, okay, 2012. So this one more apa dia literature review tu? What is a literature review? Okay, so tadi kita tengok secara overall. Okay, kalau from Saunders tu actually from dia punya literature, dia punya slide dia more just extract from all the figures that in that chapter on literature review, so they do have all too much details. But for this book, dia put the details. Okay, so sebenarnya apa dia literature review ni? Selection of available document, kan? So from particular standpoint that kita boleh tengok, we can see the views, kan? How they investigate and evaluation, how they punya evaluation like to the research being proposed. Okay, this from Hart, it's in Hart, if I'm mistaken. Okay, so I think if I'm mistaken, it's Hart writing the book on literature. Dia ada memang writing the specific about literature review book, right? So what is the function? Apa fungsi literature review ni? Kan? Sebenarnya dia lebih nak kita nak bukan short sendiri lah, kan? Walaupun macam novel pun, even though we are not recalled as a literature review, tapi for those novelists, they also do literature. They also do homework before they got the idea to write the novel or the and apa books lah kan, storybook and so on. So actually they're more on how we reinvent, okay? Atau kita nak tengok the problem from specific angle and then what the variables are important that we can consider to our research. And then also we want to explain the relevant terminology gitu. Contoh lah, sometimes we introduce some concept, okay? So we have to do literature review to define all this related terminology, arguments, okay? And as long as testability, replicability. Maknanya kalau when we are doing, you got the findings, you got the analysis, sometimes you not confident enough. Kan? Let's say like you expect that your result to accepted kan. Okay, H1, H0 tu you assume that you will accept the H1 or you punya from hepatitis. Then but what happens is vice versa. So you can find out the previous study that can support your findings. Okay, so that's that's the function of literature review. Okay, so the data source can be various nowadays with the social media, so we can more easier to get the data sources. Okay, the textbook. Okay, now maknanya what I mean just now is from social media ni can be as a gateway lah, can decide the like what I'm saying just now. Okay, Google Scholars, the online database from library. Okay, so you can see here the reports of government departments, newspapers. So nowadays all the governments, they have the social media, so you don't know how to assess it. So let's say you don't know how to assess the DOSM, okay, the statistic department, any of the data from statistics department, you can go for that DOSM, okay, Department of Statistics. So they will have lah the punya link untuk website there, for example. Selalunya nowadays most of the government agencies, the ministry, all the relevant, the company, they have their own social media for pintu lah, okay, gateway, pintu utama untuk the society can or relevant community can explore. Okay, then the rest ni sometimes can have pay lah, kan, paid, sometimes have to pay, sometimes limited. So let's say thesis, mungkin kalau thesis di UM ni or only for those staff or staff student UM can access it. Okay, so ada dia punya, they have the way, but some of that they have the punya ni lah limitations and so on. Okay, ini yang I cakap tadi, right? Journals, full text database, bibliographic, abstract, and so on. Okay, selalunya apa yang kita lihat? But when we evaluating, we tengok titles. And normally that's why we put the most important, the right keywords. Then when we have right keywords, you can have the most relevant sources or literature or any sources that related to your the topic. Okay, so table of contents, number of citations. And then sometimes when tak semestinya lah, kalau paper terbaru, so maybe citation just low kan, I mean just recent one, okay, 2021 punya just journal, mungkin dia masih low lah citation. Citation ni apa? Citation ni orang cite paper tu, orang refer book, put the reference in their writings at the end of their punya part. So that's number of citations. Okay, so what we need when apa proses yang we doing for when you're documenting, you akan lihat pada subject study, you highlight or summarize, or maybe you akan compile. Okay, mungkin let's say you have to compile, so for individual assignment too, mungkin you akan they just put it as in the table, right? However, when you are doing writing report nanti, supposedly that you can gabung jalin, interrelated. So let's say you have 15 kan, you have a number of literature review, you can gabung jalin yang mana ada same theme, okay, same theme or same let's say lah, contoh you nak buat pasal mental health kan, so mungkin mental health tu ada di, you boleh buat macam you can have the categorization automatized. Okay, I will share to this. Okay, kalau I tak sure pun I akan ada bagi satu homework untuk you boleh look at video that you can get the idea for that. Okay. Replace our Deepavali's class in Excel, replace our Deepavali's class. Okay, so yeah. So this one more on enhancement. Why I put blank there is another third set that I don't know. Maybe I forgot where the resources of these slides. But normally I will use this slide as well. Okay, so secara we know that literature review ni benda yang sangat very important. Okay, because kita ada some support lah. Okay, jadi macam kita ataupun kita tak ada idea ni. Tahu sikit je tentang mental health, but we don't know too much about mental health. Mental health ni apa dia? Contoh kan, about how many type of mental disorder. So you have to dig out lah. Okay, so to give some ideas and then process how you want to decide, how you want to scope your research. Okay, kecil ke besar kan. So now we only have a few weeks to do for your research, so you shouldn't be too big or not too small. Just adequate enough for your duration time. Okay, so that's how literature review can be a role for you. And as well as I said just now, to it would help you to develop and expand your idea. Okay, and as well as to avoid ataupun solve juga. Okay, mungkin you nak replicate. Okay, so that's how the replication have been comes in. So you want to ensuring that, let's say, have been done in other place. Let's say you want to do the okay, let's say you pernah dengar tak about psychological first aid. Okay, I last Friday I attended one webinar, one day with the webinar. Means that in the for psychological first aid ni just starting in Malaysia few years ago. Ada masa salah satu session tu dia that first aid ceramah tu share that dia macam first aid tapi for bantu kecemasan untuk macam mana cakap psychologicalnya, psychosocial support lah. Okay, so if Master have been practice quite dah agak lama di negara-negara maju, just starting in our Malaysia few years back during yang banjir besar di Kelantan dan negara Pantai Timur tu kan. Jadi sometime it has been practice in somewhere in the developed countries, dan kita boleh replicate if have possibility. Okay. However, sometimes we also have to avoid. Okay. So in other way, in other goals that we also want to avoid. Sometimes benda dah dibuat. Contohnya let's say lah, mungkin kita dah buat the research have been done let's say you nak buat pasal penting ni dah dibuat di kawan you dah buat dekat UiTM. Okay, so how you want to differentiate it up? Mungkin boleh replicate, but in your own context lah. You have to see your research problem, and of course the different respondent. Okay, so replication the most important, the respondent sampling can be different compared the previous study. Okay, so duplication ni to avoid duplication mana mungkin you check that previous study that you also it's interesting to you that to replicate but not duplicate. Macam mana tu? You're not duplicating out, mana you make sure your respondent is different, dan yang sewaktu dengannya lah yang perkara-perkara hal-hal mungkin dia punya variable pun mungkin let's say they have IV dia. Normally IV satu DV can be a number kan, mungkin in that the other let's say the previous study tu ada 5 DV, you mungkin ambil 3 DV only, so depends on don't plagiat lah. Okay, plagiat, so that's why the most important literature review ni kita nak avoid duplication lah. Unless kita tak tahu kan, unless we don't know, and then sometimes that's why you have to sometimes technology research, technology study, benda-benda yang melibatkan teknologi ni sometimes some academic community give opinion that they must do fastly because technology have been running too fast kan. So that's another challenge lah for STEM, science and scientific and technology punya area kan. So now we in the SQS ni mainly we based on science STEM, but you also can blend it with the arts and human science lah. Okay, jadi ni antara kan. Ini tak semestinya tapi it can be divided to 2 stage. Okay, first stage kita akan tengok pada existing themes, trend, relationship ini yang I cakap tadi, between variables. Okay, so at the end you can see how you can generate, okay, how you can see the suitability of your context. Okay, then when you go to second stage, you can add on lagi. Okay, you can add on the theoretical Mana you nak support dengan konsep or theoretical or rules, okay, ataupun anything that you want to introduce, okay. Kalau dalam matematik kan banyak rules kan, banyak benda-benda yang teori yang you rasa you nak test and that can be related. Okay, sometimes dia enhance the theory, the formula and so on, for example lah. So this is another reason lah. Okay, so the most important to helps in defining, clarifying the research problem as well as the research question, and then nak bantu you develop hypothesis and nak bantu untuk you nak decide your research method, your data analysis, okay, and as well as interpretations, okay. So maknanya when bila dapat analisis kan, you rasa alamak macam tak okay je kan, macam rasa tak confident with your result tu, you boleh try to explore. That's why I kata research review is continuous process. Dia bukan hanya dia bukan just on in the beginnings. Masa you nak come out dengan research idea tu sahaja. Dia actually continuous process. Okay. Okay. Ini dia punya support lah. Okay. Normally kita akan tengok pada reference yang recent lah. The most recent and the most reliable and so on lah. Alright. So itu sahaja. Apa lagi? Okay, ni funding sources not the end. Okay, maknanya sometimes kita tak semesti tengok semua benda kan. Kita nak tengok extract based on theoretical design ke, the operationalization, the structure of research tu, how dia conducting the research. Okay, so normally kita some researcher range from specific to general ataupun specific procedures to the whole study. Okay, so it depends on the field of study jugalah. Okay. Jadi how we want to decide? Sebab kadang-kadang literature ni can be included anywhere, right? As I said just now, can be introduction. Okay, some paper dia ada quote kan. Kalau kualitatif ni dia ada buat quotes kan. I mean dia ambil dia punya quotes tu untuk support dia punya findings and so on. And then tapi kita kena cite properly lah, okay, to ensure that we are not plagiarize out that findings and so on. So dia ada punya apa, kita belajar perlahan-lahan. Okay, so how to avoid plagiarism, kita have to declare lah. Okay, that's why we need to cite the resources that we obtain from the previous study. Okay, so when there is a whole section, the process can be either using evolutionary, as I said just now, kan, this one, okay, or thematic framework. Maknanya thematic framework maknanya from general to specific. Ni general to specific and the thematic. Or hierarchical means kita akan go for literature review tu, when we are discussing on literature review before we go for methodology, we can go to the title. Okay, maknanya kita akan define the DIV and DV from the title of our research. Okay, so that's all. So jangan takut dia tengok banyak slide midterm hari ni. Don't worry. Itu semua macam dia macam mula-mula from the general to specific. So I did for this chapters. Yang set pertama tadi, yang sounders tadi, more general, more the big picture, then we go to specific part wise literature review. Okay. So supposedly that from this chapter quite kita bagi jantung jugalah. Okay, quite a heart of in the doing research process supposedly. Okay, so there are the connection between previous that we already go through chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the next chapters that we go later on. Okay, then so hopefully slowly but surely insyaAllah kita be able to identify the important information through literature review as well. Maknanya mungkin kita tahu sikit je tentang mental health problem, but then when we dig out, okay, actually banyak. So there are so many, dengan nowadays when the pandemic comes in, there are so many research have been done related to mental health. 2 students, for example, 2 university students, for example, 2 secondary school students, 2 primary school students, okay? Then 2 vulnerable groups. Okay, what's the vulnerable groups? Tadi pagi ada this I got RMC have been blasted email or some lecturers have obtained the grant from LPPKN. I think one of the group, one of the researchers team have obtained related with the mental health. However, that's not from School of Applied Psychology lecturers, but I don't know mungkin dia punya content tu ada related dengan business management because from human resource lecturers. However, that's why that's nowadays about the the help kan, kalau baru ni pun belanjawan baru ni pun ada di allocate about mental health punya facilities and so on for under KKM because when pandemic, so there are so many things that we just realized there's so much lacking. It's not only mental health punya issues, there's so many other issues lah. So jadi saya harap sorry, I hope that you can cater on, you can understand. Okay. Ada soalan? Ada soalan? Ada nak tambah? Okay, you have been heard. So you have been follow some other course regarding on literature review, or you before this you have to do some project. You have to put some literature review in your your report. Okay, so now you expand your skills though. Okay, you can see as a skills lah. Okay, this one we consider skills. Okay, actually research method ni dia more skills in doing research, right? For another words kan. Okay, jadi saya still since ada masa lagi,